Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy98 here. Welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on the channel. Today we're here for another episode of my F1 2019 career mode. We're here for the German Grand Prix, and things have been looking up. If you guys haven't seen any of the previous videos, I recommend you go and check those ones out. By now, I should have created a playlist. You guys can watch every single F1 2019 career mode video. And you definitely want to go and check out the last one, because that one was an absolutely epic Grand Prix. But as we get into things, then, as you can see, we've got 500 resource points, and the powertrain upgrade arrived for this race. However, as you can see there, the chassis improvement upgrade didn't actually arrive. Ferrari, meanwhile, have made a massive upgrade, and you can see that they've taken a big step now as the front-running team there. Mercedes not really making that many upgrades at the moment. Maybe they're saving their upgrades for another time period. But for now, Ferrari are the fastest, ahead of Mercedes, Red Bull, and then it is us in McLaren. Moving on then into qualifying then, as you can see, well, my first run here actually went wide on the exit of the hairpin, and, oh, would you look at that? Oh, that was a very delayed crash. Yeah, it's what you always expect from me in qualifying. I spun out again. Yeah, fortunately, as you can see from the replay here, just went too deep into the hairpin, tried to carry the speed, lost the back end through the dirt, and then a very delayed little glitch there where I hit the wall, and then it took about half a second there to register me going flying in the air. That meant that in Q1, I only had one run to try and get on with it. Unfortunately, my run was just really messy. It wasn't working. And as we come towards the start-finish line here, it's only P14, which is safe enough to get me into Q2, which is a good thing there. But unfortunately, there are other drivers that are coming around that need to improve. And as we go into the end of it, you can see Lando Norris there making it into Q2. We unfortunately miss out on a spot in Q2. If we did actually manage to get into it, we would have replaced Max Verstappen, which would have been a massive thing. But unfortunately, that's not the case. We're not going to go into the second part of qualifying, which I am disappointed about. I would have liked to have got into Q2. I think really if I didn't make my mistake on the first run, it probably would have helped me out there. But that's my own fault. Made the mistake. I've done it a lot of times in qualifying. So we are going to be starting down the back of the grid, or down the back. Yeah, it's not really what we kind of want. But once again, because of course I'm going to be starting down at the back anyway, I'm just going to go and get another brand new engine, most probably. I think I am. Check my gearbox as well. This is kind of where I was debating. Do I get a new gearbox? Do I get a new engine? Or do I just stick with what I got? And at the end of the day, why not? Let's just get everything on the car. Let's plow on a brand new engine. Let's plow on a brand new gearbox. I might as well. The car's not competitive to win races. Let's just keep getting fresh components so that we can take advantage when those have to take a penalty. Let's get into the race for the German Grand Prix.
There's nowhere at all I'd rather be today than here at Hockenheim for the German Grand Prix. We have an incredibly competitive field this year, which means we should be in for a treat. And judging by the sea of people filling the grandstands, there's a fair-sized chunk of Germany that agrees with me. We're racing in the Rhine Valley this weekend, and the home of many of the sport's finest competitors. The 2.8-mile Hockenheim ring requires precision through the technical stadium section and great raw speed down the long, flat-out curve towards the popular overtaking zone of the Turn 6 hairpin. Watch out for a lot of wheel-to-wheel action there today. With the Grand Prix nearly upon us, Anthony Davidson is by my side once again to offer his perspective. Let's talk about Thomas. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton and Butler, Raikkonen, Gasly, Perez and Lando Norris, Sainz, Magnussen, Lucas Faber and Albon, Thomas, Grosjean, George Russell and Robert Kubica, Giovinazzi and Nico Hülkenberg completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Alright, so as you can see, we're on the grid here for the start of the German Grand Prix, and we're going to start on the medium tyres and go to a set of hard tyres. Weirdly enough, though, as you can see, we've got a 35 place grid penalty, but we're starting one position higher than when we qualified. Let's get into it then. It is going to be lights out when we go here to start the German Grand Prix. I don't know what happened there with the grid. We should really be starting last, but we've actually gone promoted a place after being demoted 35. So if you thought Hamilton's problem in Austria was triggering, check mine one out. Anyway, as we're going towards the first corner then, we get a position against the Toro Rosso car. Now we're going to try and go down the inside here of the Haas car, make a little bit of contact with my teammate Lando Norris, as we're also side by side with one of the Racing Point cars. That is Sergio, Perez left there now. Who's gone there? Carlos. Good old Carlos, I can't forget him. As we go now in towards the long back straight now, up towards the hairpin here. We're having a little look at the back of Lando Norris, but unfortunately, we're just not close enough. But we are going to dive it down the inside here of Lando Norris. Now we're going to have a look at Sergio Perez and Devon Bullsack in the process here. But unfortunately, I'm side by side with both of them, but they've got a better exit now. And we're going to tuck in the slipstream here of Sergio Perez and fly him through. But Bullsack, boy, making a bit of contact there with myself. The back end slides all over the shop there. And a bit rash there from Devon Bullsack, but he goes defensive on the inside line and kind of just opens the door for me to slide my way on through. So thank you very much for that one. And that is us up now into, I think it is P10, if I'm correct in saying. I could be wrong. Most of the time I am. So, yeah, don't judge me. So as we go now through the Sachs curb here, and, curve, should I say, through to the final sector, very difficult, tight and twisty section here. This was actually my best portion of the circuit overall when I was hooking it up. So that was quite interesting to know. As we come across the start-finish line, it is P10. Yes, I am right. Get in. Right, so on to lap 3 of the Grand Prix now. We're catching up to the back of Sergio Perez here in the Renault car. Now we're going to have a look at down the inside here. Going to have a late braking move here into the Mercedes-Benz grandstand. Contact made with Sergio Perez there. Luckily, because I'm not in a Ferrari or I'm not Sebastian Vettel, I didn't actually spin my car there. But that was overall, that was a really stupid move. I should never have gone for that overtake. I thought it was on, but it definitely wasn't. I was on lap 4 now. We go a little bit wide on the exit there, but Sergio Perez is now pressurizing one of the Red Bull cars, the Pierre Gasly. Devon Bullsack as well as pressurizing that Red Bull as well, as we now go flying up in towards the hairpin here. We're coming up to the back of Pierre Gasly now. Move towards the inside line here. Have a little look here. Under braking now. We go down the inside here of Devon Bullsack. Doesn't really leave us that much space there, but we get past, not only do we get past Devon Bullsack, but we also got past Pierre Gasly as well in the process there. So great stuff from us, and now we're up into P8 in the Grand Prix. Next at the road is Sergio Perez for P7. And as you can see, lap 5 of the Grand Prix is a new personal best from us, a 117.8, as the car slides its way through turn 1. Literally, Pierre Gasly now has got past Devon Bullsack. Meanwhile, for us, we're trying to get onto the back of Sergio Perez here and try and make an overtake here. I can just imagine people that have never watched a video of mine and they see Devon Butler there and then they just see this random dude calling him Bullsack. But yeah, you'll find out why eventually. But as you can see then, we get the run here on Sergio Perez, go nice and deep in towards the hairpin, switcheroo there, get the better run with the traction there, and it's worked out quite okay with us. We're alongside Sergio Perez, but he just gets a better drive out of there, funnily enough, actually, in that Renault car. So we have to sit back this time in towards the Mercedes-Benz grandstand. We are close enough for the dive, and that time we do go for it there. Lovely overtake, and that is us now up into P8 in the Grand Prix, P7 shall I say, and next at the road is Kimi Raikkonen, and we're going to catch up to the back of him now here onto lap 8 of the Grand Prix. We're onto the back of that Alfa Romeo car. We should have DRS here. No, we're just outside the DRS window there, 1.1 seconds the gap. My problem though is Sergio Perez behind. He hasn't actually dropped far back than I thought he was, and here comes Sergio Perez now in the Renault car. He's got slipstream, he's got DRS here, and as we go up in towards the hairpin, Sergio Perez now brakes nice and late down the inside here. We're going to try and go around the outside, just what we did the last time, try and get a little bit of a better exit, but in fairness to Sergio Perez, he got a sensational exit out of the hairpin corner, and that's him now up into P7, so we've dropped back down behind Sergio, and I had a look there in towards Mercedes-Benz grandstand, but on that occasion, Sergio Perez actually went defensive there, so he clearly knew that I was attempting to have a little look through there and sneak my way on through, but yeah, Sergio now is in front of us, 0.3 of a second is the gap as we go in towards the Sachs curb now on our way up to it. Gasly is just behind us, about 0.6 off, but we have got DRS now. But the crucial thing is that Perez should just be in DRS range to Kimi Raikkonen. So if I can stick with Perez, Perez may have a go at Raikkonen, I can then have a go at Kimi, and then focus on Sergio Perez. Or we could do the double overtake, like we did when we were fighting against Gasly. But let's just have a look though, as we come across the start-finish line here, and onto lap 9 of the Grand Prix now, heading in towards the first corner here, once again just sliding across the circuit there. The front end grip wasn't really that good, and I am going to start focusing probably on some aerodynamic pieces very, very soon on my car. But luckily for us though, we are now in a good range to attack Perez and to attack Raikkonen. So as you can see here, overtake mode, rich mix enabled now. New personal best in the first sector here as we're closing to the back of Sergio Perez. We're gaining on Sergio, gaining very closely. Sergio goes to the inside for Kimi Raikkonen. We're going to try the outside line here. Brake nice and late, go very deep in the corner, go around towards that outside line. Raikkonen though doesn't try the switchback move that I was thinking of here. And this is a great exit from us on the exit here now. And as we come in towards the Mercedes-Benz grandstand here, Raikkonen side by side with a still, but down the inside and towards the Mercedes-Benz grandstand. We get the overtake done, just about keep the car on the track there, and that is us up and out into 6th place in the German Grand Prix, and we can try and pull away there, nice and wide on the exit as well. Not really the way you want to be doing it around there, but that is us up another position. Moving on then to lap 11 of the Grand Prix. To start lap 12, we are going to be coming in for our one and only stop of the Grand Prix. We're going to go on to a set of the hard tyres, and we're going to take the hards all the way to the end of the Grand Prix, which shouldn't really be that difficult to do. Hard tyres are nice and durable. So in we come now for our first stop. This is quite early on, actually. Now, I didn't realise how early this pit stop was. I actually couldn't remember where I was meant to stop. That's kind of why I was in this scenario. But a lot of the cars, literally, they did go on for another 4 or 5 laps. So like lap 16, lap 17. So in hindsight, this is a really early pit stop for us to be doing. But at the end of the day, the tyre wear wasn't bad on my medium tyres. So honestly, as long as we don't push these hard tyres too much, we should be able to take them to the end of the race with no major concerns. So that's kind of the plan. And we're back out again, and we should be able to then pull out a little bit of a gap once the rest of the cars come out for their stops. On to lap 13 of the Grand Prix now, and Romain Grosjean is next up the road for us in the Haas car here, and he's on the medium tyres, yet to stop in this Grand Prix, but he's carrying on. However, for us, it's a new personal best first sector, and this is once again just showing the clarity of the speed of this McLaren car. I'm not even using any ERS. I'm using no ERS on this straight here, using standard on the fuel mixture, and we're just going to go down the inside here. Nice one on Grosjean. A little bit of contact there, but, you know, it is what it is, and we get the position there on Romain. Not having to use anything. Look at that, standard and no ERS. I just switched it up into low now, just to pull away a little bit here. Unfortunately for us, though, that's all that happened in this Grand Prix. Absolutely nothing else went on in this race. As soon as everyone came out into the pits here, it was a fight between Gasly and Bullsack Boy. Gasly eventually got in front of Devon Bullsack. He tried to close the gap down to myself, but really, I just took the hard tyres all the way to the end. They're on 65% wear, so they did wear out towards the end of the Grand Prix. But as you can see, yeah, unfortunately, guys, nothing else happened. We're going to cross the start-finish line, set a new personal best of a 1:16.7, and claim P6 in the German Grand Prix. Another stellar result, and once again, constantly taking that fight to Red Bull. That is the aim for the rest of this season, is to do whatever we can to fight Red Bull, and at the moment Verstappen is definitely getting the measure of myself, but Pierre Gasly, I've got no problem really beating Gasly, and it's been quite a regular occurrence now for me to stay in front of Gasly, so that's promising for us. But as you can see, it is Sebastian Vettel that wins the German Grand Prix, his home race there, so a fantastic result there for Seb and for Ferrari. They've really been doing such a great job this season. Charles Leclerc claiming second as well, so it's a 1-2 for Ferrari, which is kind of becoming a norm actually in my career mode this season. They've really taken a step forward, and obviously with all those upgrades as well, it's really put them on the front edge here. So yeah, congratulations to Sebastian Vettel and to Charles Leclerc, and they'll be looking to try and continue their run of form heading into the next race, which is the Hungarian Grand Prix. Hamilton takes the final step on the podium. I believe he started in second, so he's lost out to Charles somewhere in that. Yeah, it is. Oh no, he started 5th, so it was Bottas that started 2nd. So Bottas losing out there. Verstappen finishes in P5. We finish in 6th ahead of Gasly. Norris with another point scoring finish. So McLaren now starting to get on the up a little bit more now in this career mode. Norris picking up some points, and I can't be complaining about that. It's exactly what we need. And in our fight with Racing Point, who once again only scored 1 point this time with Devon Bullsack. In the Drivers' Championship, then, the gap between myself and Verstappen is 5 points, but eventually, at some point, Verstappen is going to re-overtake me, as, of course, I just don't have the car to compete on a regular basis. Compared to that, Norris jumps in front of Antonio Giovinazzi, and he's now tied with Romain Grosjean in terms of the points there. In the Constructors' Championship, we now hold a 20-point lead over Racing Point, with just 49 points separating myself and Red Bull. So still some way to go to catch Red Bull. I don't think we'll do it by this season. Potentially, though, in the next season, we'll be able to hopefully fight not only Red Bull, but take the fight to Mercedes and Ferrari as well. We'll just have to see how it goes. But we're going to wait now and try and get that interview in, potentially get a date with Claire. Oh, that's upsetting. There is no interview. Oh, wow. Well, that's just majorly depressing in all circumstances then. But, yeah, unfortunately, not as much action as the British Grand Prix. The British Grand Prix had too much action. Yeah, that's what you want to see in Formula 1. So, yeah. That's what we need to be doing. But as you can see, it's a good amount of resource points for us. There's a 489 resource points, putting us up to 1,100 resource points for this race. I think we go ahead and make a couple of upgrades. I seem to be getting quite bad at actually spotting when I make an upgrade when I do these recordings, so I need to see that. As Emma then shows me an interview transcript with Devon Bullsack here, and he says, you know, don't disrespect me, bruv. Man's got all the pace in the world, and I'm just like, man, you just called a Bullsack, and my audience loves when I call you a Bullsack, so deal with it, bruv. So yeah, let's have a look at the upgrades then, and then we'll round off, obviously, today's episode. If you have enjoyed the episode, though, feel free to drop it a like and subscribe to the channel if you've not yet subscribed already. It would mean a lot to me, and it would great to see the support coming on in. So I have the choice here of getting this major engine upgrade, and it's going to come for the Belgian Grand Prix. It's really going to help us out. For the Hungarian Grand Prix, then, I'm going to try and save up some resource points to get that chassis upgrade on, and then start working on the aerodynamics, because I need to start working on getting less drag on the car. But until then, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care, all.